Basically the two harnesses that you pull out of the bottom part that's down in there that isn't there anymore. There's just a bunch of empty space in there now, right? So that's where all your, like, you can wind the wiring harnesses and put your radio replacement box. You can zip tie it in if you want, but everything is just kind of in there and kind of mushed a little bit, so it doesn't really move around, you know. But there's more than enough room to accommodate everything and fix. Like I had the Kenwood, what the hell is it? It's like the DNX 571 HD is what it is. So basically, you unplug the two out of that middle gray unit over here that you took the mounts from, and then you just wire that up to your radio. So you're never messing with any of the internals of the car. So that iData Link thing provides two harnesses that plug right into the factory thing without cutting any wires or nothing like that. So it works. That's pretty much how I did it. I'll put it all back in and then light it up and show you how the gauges and the OBD2 works and how everything lights up with the steering controls, and you can program the steering controls on this thing, and so it's wonderful. So basically when you're done wiring it, like I pulled it out and flopped it and just sat it on top of the shifter, and then I wired everything up in the back to the back of the deck. Make sure you ground your parking brake so you can use all the features. Wire up the HDMI pre-out from the one that's going to go down underneath the dash panel, the auxiliary port, the dual USBs. I have my GPS antenna ran through the inside of the dash, up basically through this corner is where you can run a ton of wires, and up underneath here, and then up and around. So I have my GPS antenna there, and the XM radio antennas there for separation. And then you can take this part off and wire other stuff. See my ThinkCam video for that one. The subwoofer is wired into there too, which is still wired into the back. I just wired that, you know, through the dash, down through the bus that's there. I might have had a video about it. Underneath the trim, you know, you can't see any of it. It's all hidden. And then, you know, when you lift the seat up, put some carpet pad in there. Basically take out the storage box that's in there, and there's a ton of room. You can fit a kicker hideaway in there. You know, and the wires will come out right out of this trim that's underneath the seat, so no one can even see it. That's great. I guess whoever sits on there is going to have a good time too, right? Who wants to sit in the back seat of this thing, especially without the four-door? I'll tell you that much, right? Now the kids don't like it. So, yeah. Here, let's tie the whole thing back in real quick. It just goes right back over the top once you get your bottom part nice and tied back in. There's your hazard lights, still good to go. Everything's working. Everything's nice, ready, tied in, replaceable. We can bring it back to factory. So, you know, we just pop our trim pieces back on. I'll show you that. Our first one was, oh, there goes the white thingy. We'll grab that in a second. So here's your trim piece that's key. That's that part I showed you on the internet before. That's your 8-inch. It's got your clip there that pops in, your clip there that pops in, clip here, clip here. Now you're not even going to use the two screws that go on the top, because the two clips from the side where the heat vents are going to tie it right in perfectly. So it slides right underneath, and then boom. There you go. Still got your hazards. Everything's good to go. Nice and sexy. Still tied in. Nothing, you know, from any angle. It just looks, you know, like a normal part of the car. So let's put the vents back on. I lost one of my white thingies. So let's grab it from the ground there. I'll just steal one for here for now. They go flying all over the place. Kind of a pain in the butt. Now I wired my microphone and the charger for my phone into this vent directly from the dash, so everything's hardwired. So I put my thingy in, it's nice and tied in. So really you just get them, you know, basically you're going to get those two white clips lined up with the two slits that look just like that on the vent. And this is kind of your keystone one. You just get it nice and tied in, and then all four. So that whole part right there is nice and locked in. It's bound right down into there by that vent, right? So then you take your other one, and same thing. Same thing on this side. Right? So we take our, with this one, you'll see there's two little hinges over here, like I said when I took it off. Right there, there's two little hinges. You put that over there first. So basically, you're gonna put this vent in first. Oh shit. So after you get that screwed in and you get this all nice and kind of pushed in there, that little tab up there will hold it right nice in place. First thing you're going to do is put your little corner pieces on that go next to your legs down here. And you just kind of snap them right back in. It's easier than taking them off. You just line up the holes. There's a little plug and you can see where it goes against the glove box and snap. That's it. Doesn't take a lot of force or nothing. And then you need your middle piece that goes over the top of the climate controls and ties into the two pieces that tie into the dashboard. Now there's two little tabs. Oh, no, that's on the other piece. So you basically just line this one up. You can see all the little tabbies that it hooks to. And once you get everything all nice and lined up in there, you can slide it in. It looks like you got to put that part on first before you put the bottom corner pieces on. That's my bad. So there's a little lip on this middle part that ties it all in. So you kind of got to slide that underneath those corner leg pieces. So you get this middle piece all snap back in. Regular spot there. Give her a nice push. And then she ties right in. Alright. Then you put your corner pieces in down by the legs. And that covers it up. That ties everything all nice and smooth in. Right? And this piece is still sitting there ready to rock. It's good to go. Alright, so once you get your two leg pieces in there and the middle piece is all nice and tied in, and you got this part dangling right over the top with that tab in there, then you're going to put in your two top dash pieces with the vents on them, and that's going to tie everything in. Basically, these two white clips, like I said a million times, are going to tie into these two holes on the other side, and it's going to bind that thing right on the top on both sides. It ain't going anywhere. I got my microphone and my USB cable tied to this vent. So basically you just get it all nice and lined up. Like I said, you want to line up them two holes right over the top of that front fascia piece, and it's going to bind it in there. When you snap it down, it snaps in over there too, so you just get it all nice and lined up, and then that's it. That was all of them snapping right in. And what it'll do is it'll snap over the top of this thing and hold it down right there, right? And then when the other side comes in, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to grab it and pull down in there. So now you got your other piece that says Ranger on it, right? There's two little tabs right there. They basically go on a hinge over here. So what you want to do is kind of line the piece up you'll feel it go right in there. And then smooth it nice and across. And you want to line up, same thing. Those two little white tabs with the two pieces on this thing, so it just binds over the top of it, right? So once you get everything all lined up, you just give it a nice push. I need 2 hands for this part here. Let me see if I can get a good angle. Yeah, there we go. So basically I'm going to push this a little in while I push this down. It should... Why isn't it grabbing for me? It's weird. The vent's not in there right. There it goes. So now everything's tied back in. Now make sure when you run your wires, they're all below the airbag so everything can come out in the airbag nice. You got your dash all nice tied back in. It bound over the top of the stereo. You know, that thing's tied right in nice and beautifully. So now I'll do a video that demonstrates all the capabilities that harness will light right up for this truck. Okay, so I got everything dressed back in, and there's your upgraded harness down the bottom. Now, an XL only comes with 1 USB down there, so when you get the My Ford Touch One Eye Data Link thing, there's 2 USB ports, an HDMI, and an auxiliary port that plugs right into that thing. Clips right in nice and sexy, you know, looks really good. So this is one on my phone. So 2 USB, HDMI pre-out. I got that running back up to the unit. So nice, you get mega upgrades with the kit. Like I said,